Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to UKSG Winter 2022. We are currently in Glasgow, Scotland, and we are bringing you some good runs. I'd like to think. We've got a problem, and who are we going to call? We are going to call Destructiox. Destructiox is going to be taking us away with Ghostbusters on the Genesis. Destructiox, hello.
Hello. So this is Ghostbusters on the Mega Drive. There were several Ghostbusters games during this sort of retro era. Not many of them are very good. This one is an absolute standout, so I'm really glad to be able to do this at the event for you guys. With me, I've got Hacker Deity on my comms.
Hello.
There's 3 Ghostbusters in this game, which is why I gave you guys the option for the bid war. They do all play slightly differently. We have Ray that is the slowest, but he takes the most damage. There is Egon that is the fastest and takes the most he takes the most damage, and then Pete's in the middle. So who've we got to play? Who's won the bid war? Can I get a confirmation on that?
We are just checking that. We will
Thank you.
be with you on a second. We'll do one final refresh.
I'll close it first.
And it is looking like it's going to be Egon. Egon is taking it just $10 ahead of
Just $10
Peter.
ahead.
And yeah, that's who you're going to run with.
Right, wonderful. Right, so time's going to start when I select Egon. It will finish 10 seconds after Jana is defeated the final boss.
We'll
Because
let you know.
a nice death animation. We'll let you know beforehand. So we're ready to start?
Yep, we are ready. Go whenever you want to.
Okay, so we shall now begin then in 3, 2, 1, go. So we've started. Ghostbusters, this game has 6 levels in it. You're able to start from any of the 4 levels at the beginning, any of the first 4. Once you've selected a stage, however, you can't actually go into any of the others until you've beaten the boss ghost. You're only able to access the boss ghost of the stage after you've beaten all the middle ghosts that are active. You can see how many there are by the... I'm just going to 360 no-scope that. In the bottom right corner, you can see the little white ghost. That's one middle ghost. Once we defeat it, it gets crossed off. Here's the middle ghost. His name's Silk Hat, and he's going to tip his hat. He's not going to tip his hat. Come on, bro.
Okay.
There he goes. So now he's vulnerable. We're going to shoot this guy in the face until he splits. And now we're going to split each part until they go away. After we've defeated each middle ghost, there's a little mini-game where you have to catch the green ghost, just like in the movies. So we're going to draw it into the trap, recapture it. Boom, that is health restore, energy restore, and 1,000 smackers. So 1,000 smackers. Why do you need 1,000 smackers? Because we got to buy weapons and equipment in this game. So in between each stage, we are able to buy items and weapons. We're going to be doing a few of that. But before that, we've got to take care of the boss ghost scale on. We're going to be intentionally dying here. Don't worry about it. There's continue warps in this game, so we're going to be taking a bunch of damage through this fight. Hopefully we'll 2-cycle him. I'm just going to throw a bomb to get some of these scales out of the way. We didn't. That's fine. It's a bit tricky. If it's just a single bullet, I'm going to be sad because it's always the single bullet that misses. Let's find out.
Here we go. No.
No, it wasn't. It was 3. Wow. Surprised me with that one. That's the first boss ghost taken care of. He's going to, be a bit dramatic, take a while to die. Fun fact, those eyeballs still hurt you for some reason. Please don't walk into them. He dropped a tablet piece, and that's the first stage taken care of.
And that's a lot of the game rundown.
Yeah, that's
the way in
effectively
a very
the gameplay
quick
loop.
level.
Yeah, that's effectively the gameplay loop. So now we're going to go and buy the 3-way shot. We're going to buy a little bit of energy, and we're also going to max out our bombs.
Bombs are like in standard shoot-em-ups. You throw them out there, and they're just going to do a screen clear of basic enemies. I believe they do damage some bosses, but not
Very
all
few
of
and
them.
far between, but yes, there are some minor cases where it'll be useful. We're going to use them now to take care of some enemies that will chase us through the first part of the stage. Oh, he jumped over me. You get to escape. You get away with that one, buddy. There are little bits of money that you can get for shooting these little ghosts, but it's like 10, 20 bucks. When you compare it to the 1,000 you get for capturing a ghost, it's not really anything by comparison.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these levels are a lot bigger than what you're going to see on the stream. We're going from A to B, but there are a whole bunch of secret areas and whatnot, safes that contain money, and you can
Yeah,
collect
indeed.
those. But to be
in
honest,
this room, we're going to be doing the icebox strat, which is something that I accidentally uncovered by trying a speed strat by another runner and messing it up. So we're going to use this little buddy. We're going to kill him and reset his AI so he can carve a nice little path for us through the ice. That works out nicely for us.
Yeah, I think one of the things about the money in this game is it's not really all that required too much because most of the weapons are not that great compared to the ones you get
it's
near the
just a
start.
three-way in the Phasar shell. This is Siren, the first boss of the apartment. She is an absolute nightmare because she is a double-layered RNG boss. Okay, I mean, every time she's passing across the top of the stage and she shoots is an opportunity instead for her to split into three. And then she has an option of splitting between the top, middle, and bottom parts. We want her to split on the bottom because then we can get the full power out of the three-way just like that. Absolutely shred that health bar.
You can get occasions where that boss just decides that
I'm going to take a minute off you.
splitting is not in my interest, so I'm just going to float around for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
and
she can absolutely decimate time.
She's probably one of the more significant causes of a restart, I would say, in your runs.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. This Broccoli Worm, although to be fair, Broccoli Worm, while being a terrible RNG boss, is too far in the run, so I don't generally reset there. But yeah, this is definitely like, if you reset, it's Siren.
So the next mini-boss is right before the actual boss room, so we're just going to go in here, mini-boss fight, and then straight into a boss fight.
Absolutely, he's going to start. He's got 4 different attacks he can do. He can shoot, he can swing, he can jump, and he can walk. We want him to walk. We don't want him to swing or jump. That's when it's most difficult to shoot him in the face, which is what we need to do in order to take care of him. He's going to jump a bit more. There we go, lovely. Boom, straight in the trap.
Okay,
So, as I said before, you get health and energy back whenever you capture one of those ghosts. Depending on the difficulty, you get different amounts. For easy, we get 6 health and 6 energy. That's important to take note of later on. But for now, we're going on to the final boss ghost of the apartment. It's the snowman. He's going to fly around, be really annoying, and spit out a bunch of kids. We need to shoot him in... He's got 2 faces, but we need to shoot him in the top face in order to take care of him. Basically, the gist here is to try and just angle your shots and your positioning so you're hitting with at least 2/3 of the three-way here. It is very quick to defeat him with a weapon we'll get later on, but there's no real routing to get that before this point, so... That was a pretty good fight, actually.
That was a very quick kill anyway.
He loves to swing all over the place, so that was a really nice fight. Boom.
So
Second tablet acquired.
2 out of the 6 levels already done.
Another thing that you may have noticed that we've not really mentioned yet is that a lot of these bosses are changing color. That is just a thing that they've done in the game to implement, like, to show that you're doing health damage. And interestingly, not even all bosses change color. Most of them do, but there's a fair few that don't, which is very strange. But here, in this level, it's the Woody House. It's dark. You might have noticed, but if you equip infrared goggles, it's fine, which is strange, but we'll go with it. But we're going to be doing a continue warp here to save a bunch of time. So it's going to look like I'm doing really badly, but it's fine. It's all planned, I hope.
That's the cover-up.
That's the cover-up, sure, why not? So we're going to walk into this guy's face twice and then get hit by his fire breath once, because for some reason... Walking into him does more damage than his flame breath. Don't worry about it. So we're just going to take a bunch of intentional damage. One more hit and we're fine. And hopefully, yes, he just went down. Lovely. So now I'm going to capture the ghost. This is where the health we get back is important. We get 6 health here. We're going to use that 6 health immediately as a cost to damage boost through some firewalls. So we're just going to take out these bats with a bomb so they don't bother us. Going to jump down here.
These firewalls are a relatively new trick as well, aren't they?
Well, these ones,
some of them are.
Yeah, there's some firewalls that you couldn't get through until very recently. There's a new clip that we found, which is kind of frame perfect.
There's Sonic at the bottom right.
There's Sonic giving us a boost.
Start to the Sonic block right there. See Sonic.
So I'm just going to jump into this firewall and pray. No, we didn't get the height. That's a shame. But we can try it again on the next one.
See, these fire pillars behave differently. You've got those ones that let you walk straight through them,
Got
and
the
then the
second
other ones spawn these ads, and typically the firewall doesn't lower until you kill 3 of those enemies.
Right, so here we're going to take, again, intentional damage. We're going to get hit by this guy, ideally when he's blue, because then... Oh, never mind. Okay, this is... Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Getting hit by a projectile deals less damage than being hit by the body. We wanted to be hit by the body because we wanted to have at least 2 health. We've got 3. So we just need to get 2 little love taps from our green friend here. There's one. We're going to intentionally die here. Don't worry about it. Boom, smashed it. So effectively, there's an interesting mechanic where we don't actually... We've already beaten the boss, even though technically the whole sequence hasn't finished. we have the ghost capturing minigame start, but the boss is already dead. The ghost capture minigame has the opportunity for the ghost to escape if you don't do it right. So that basically just treats it as the ghost escaping, so we just skip that whole sequence. So we're going to get a little boost off our hedgehog friends here.
Dodge the extra life.
Indeed. If we pick up that extra life, technically it's a reset because we have to do another continue up, so we need to die a lot. So having a whole extra health bar, it's not pretty, bros. It's not pretty. So now we're going up to the final boss of this stage. It's the Wall Man. Can you imagine what he does? He sits in the wall.
This is one of the more RNG bosses I've always found.
A little bit, yeah. He just decides when to take damage and when not to take damage, and it doesn't really make sense. We've been trying to work out this boss a bit better, but it's still a bit dodgy. Don't worry, I am taking damage intentionally. Maximizing my uptime while also hopefully dying at the end.
Also, we didn't really introduce it, but he's using, I believe it's the Phasar shell now, which is kind of a weapon which does... It does a high amount of damage, but as it goes through the enemy, it does less as it goes through, I believe.
Don't know why I did that. Yeah, it passes through the enemy. It does colossal amounts of damage to things it hits, but the more things it hits, the weaker it becomes.
That was an intentional death.
Yeah, that was an intentional death. That's not a problem. I say he's just deciding when to take damage and when not. It's a nightmare at times. There we go. He's gone. Yeah.
He always does this final bait and switch where he just comes out the wall, but then he dies afterwards.
Then he dies. 13 seconds, by the way, this. He's really been a bit of a drama queen. I'm going to do a little party trick. Boom! But it's okay. He's fine, guys. Don't worry about it. He's in the fire, but he's fine.
Just a bit toasty.
Just a bit toasty. 3 bosses down. So we're going to the 4th boss now of the...
Main, like the main starter levels.
Yeah, the starter levels, yes. This is the apartment. We're going to be dying again intentionally in this stage, don't worry about it. We're going to be setting up for a continue up at the start of the castle level, which is the 5th one. And if you pay attention, you might figure out who the final boss of that level is. He's making a bit of a mess of the place, to be honest. So we're up the first boss here now. It's the 100-eyed centipede. But he's got 12 eyes, so I'd like a refund personally. We're just going to start plowing away at him. We are taking a bunch of damage intentionally here, don't worry about it. Normally, it's either you die here or you die on the final boss, so I'm not too worried about this death. Sometimes it can actually be quite annoying to die at Stay Puffed anyway, because you have to sort of wait for him to attack you. Like, he's really good at dodging you. So dying here is pretty fine. But yeah, we're just going to be doing a large climb up a building now. So you've got about a minute or so. If there's anything you want to say or plug, now's a good time.
Brilliant. I do actually, we had a donation come in from, I think, Sorio, is how we say it?
Yeah, yes.
There we go, that rings a bell. Saying, Dear Dest, the entire HG and S crew is cheering you on, as the North would say it, score some heckin' speedruns and give us a dab for the camera. You got to give us a dab for the camera.
Oh.
It's got to happen. Hey, let's go.
Well, it's half of one at least.
Half of one. I kind of still have to move.
It's good enough.
You got more time.
And there aren't any other donations at the moment, but just a reminder that we are raising money for, I was about to say UKSG. This is UKSG, and we are raising money for Crisis. And actually, we have some bid wars going on at the moment for the Sonic CD run that's coming up soon. We have what soundtrack we're going to use for that game. The Japanese soundtrack is currently winning with $80 to its name against the US that has currently nothing. But I'm gonna do a bit of vouching for it, and I'm gonna say put some money towards the US one. The US one is actually pretty good. Maybe not quite. Oh, I'm getting some boos from the crowd here, but hey, you should give it a go. You should. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, over to you, Destructiox.
Right, we're now in the last boss of this stage. It's the Shell Beast. He has some weird mechanics. He basically moves, then he checks if the player's underneath him. If the player's underneath him, he's going to shoot. If he's not, he's going to move or roll. When he rolls, he's invulnerable, so we don't want him to roll. He's been relatively kind so far. Nice.
Yeah, quick kill, yeah.
Ghost went the wrong way. Basically, depending on where you're standing on the side of the defeated Ghost, depends on where he moves. I should have been standing on the left, so he moves left.
Don't pause the game.
Don't pause the game. There's a chance the ladder stops moving if you pause and change weapons. So we don't want to do that.
It's the closest thing to a soft lock as you can get in this game, really.
Yeah, you have to leave the whole stage and come back. Or that trudge that we just did, got to do that twice over. So this is Stay Puft Marshmallow Man!
As you can see, the Phasar shell makes him have some strange facial reflexes.
Indeed. But yeah, he shoots fire, he punches, he shoots lasers. I'm just watching my health bar because I didn't realize it was this low. But he's also quite low. Okay, I was just about to use the duck, but he's dead, so it's fine. We're good, we're good. So there's all 4 pieces of the tablet. We've got them all. So now we go back to the Ghostbusters, and we're like, hey guys, look what we did. We got them all. It's great. And no one's here.
Except Einstein.
Awkward. So now we're going to the castle, because this dude named Arthur's here, and he kidnapped the Ghostbusters. So we give him the tablet pieces, and he's like, yeah, they're in here somewhere. Go find them. So we're going to go do that. We're now setting up for a continue warp, so I'm just going to take a minute, if that's okay.
Okay, so we're relatively easy for the start of this stage. We're just going to do a quick damage boost like that, then damage boost from here, just like the previous plant. And the first boss is in here, and it is Marionette Ghost, I believe it's called.
It is indeed.
So yeah, it's just Ray possessed by a ghost. You have to shoot the ghost behind him. If you shoot the actual boss itself, it goes invincible and shoots you back.
Oh, for God's sake.
When he behaves, he goes down relatively quick, only about 2 or 3 hits. But obviously, because it's a marathon, he's putting up a bit more resistance.
Yeah, so far, it's all good. So the ghost comes out of his mouth, and then it goes into us, and we die, and that's a continue warp. Don't worry about it, it's all good, it's all planned. So now we're going to go to the shop and buy all our stuff, max out our energy, get our bombs back. We don't need a duck, that's great, and now we're good for the end of the game, basically. There's one boss in this stage, the broccoli worm. I'm going to come up to him shortly. He is an absolute nightmare, and he might take a couple lives off me. If he does, we'll be continue warping again in the final stage, but I'm assuming that's not going to be the case. So basic platforming time, can we do it?
That particular mini-boss is just RNG hell, basically.
Yes, it is. I don't even want to talk about
everything needs to be right in that fight, and some more if you want to have a good experience on that boss.
I could write an essay on that boss. Like, it has different sorts of pieces that split. It's split into 6 pieces, and basically any of those pieces could be regenerating other pieces, but you don't know which pieces are regenerating until pieces are dead and they're regenerating pieces.
You'll see in a moment.
Oh, I hate that boss.
We just got to capture this ghost, and then it's 1 block to the right, and then we'll be there.
We've saved the Ghostbusters! So we managed to get both Pete and Ray, Pete and Ray out of here.
Notably, no Winston.
No Winston.
Until the mod comes out.
There is a mod that's coming out that's going to add Winston, and I'm looking forward to that because I've heard from one of the lads in the community, Brando. He's tested it out. He's an absolute monster in the game, so Winston's going to be really fun to do at some point in the future.
Increased jump height, I believe, is going to be his gimmick.
Yep. And now we're going to do the broccoli worm. We're going to shoot him in the face a whole bunch.
Seems like a relatively nice boss for a start, and then this happens.
Yeah, we want a really good RNG here. He's going to split into 2, split into 3.
See, the one on the right now is just constantly spawning the parts back that are being killed, and
okay,
you can't
there
tell
should
which
be no more
it.
reproducing pieces. Come on.
Okay, that's been relatively clean.
Oh, he's just chilling there. He doesn't even want. Okay, he's took a life. Like, oh yeah, he doesn't normally stay this low. That's very strange. That's very strange. I'll take it though. Yeah, I'll take that. So now we're probably coming on to what I genuinely believe is the coolest boss in this game. I just remember seeing it as a kid and just thought, oh my days, the design of this boss is awesome. So I'm just going to jump over these. You meant to crawl, but you know they gave us the space, so we'll just jump it. Sorry, headphone users. Sorry, headphone users.
This level is not the most nice to listen to.
Right, so it's the Grim Reaper. For some reason, he's not the final boss. He's just some jobber for the actual final boss of this stage, but we'll take it. He's just going to make some...
That's the nice move, isn't it? Like,
nah, we want him to swing.
Oh,
we want him to swing. Yeah. So when he swings, these things can block the path of the Phasar shell, so it does less damage to the boss.
Which is something we'll see in the next boss. The final boss of this level as well.
So I just had to have a brief pause and shoot him so I get my positioning. Basically, we're doing shenanigans with the camera because the boss will stay within the camera boundaries, and we're just moving the camera so that we can get like some easy shots on this boss. It was a good fight. We flubbed like 1 or 2, and that's not that bad for this boss, to be fair.
Some Reaper attempts can be a real nightmare depending on how he wants to move around and what moves he wants to use. And I mean, for a lot of non-swings, that still went relatively well.
Yes, it went relatively well.
Another basic platforming check.
Yay! This time we got it first time.
Yeah, that one went well. Another clip through the vine, and it's into the boss room, who, oddly enough, I would probably say is one of the easier final bosses of the level so far.
Yeah, the community, as you can probably tell, affectionately calls this one Audrey. Boom. So all it's going to do is open its mouth and shoot out a laser. It's also going to throw little pods at us, and that's where the, I suppose you could say, complexity of this boss fight comes in. If the Phasar shell hits any of these pods before it hits the boss,
or the vines,
it basically doesn't count as a hit, which is really annoying.
That goes back to what I was saying earlier, where the Phasar shell does less damage as it travels through.
Yeah.
Through objects.
It seems, yeah, the boss seems especially susceptible to that. It basically does no damage whatsoever, which is really annoying. But yeah, it's just 10 hits and the boss is done. So we've now taken care of all the tablet pieces, but when we defeated this boss, we got a jewel. So we decide that putting the jewel in the middle of the tablet is a great idea. The Ghostbusters have just caused a colossal earthquake. Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's it's generating business.
Yeah, I suppose. More ghosts for the future. Right, so we're now going into the final level of the game. This is the deep hole. There's not too much to talk about here, to be completely honest. A lot of it is genuinely just rehashes of bosses we've already fought.
This is basically just a retread against all the final bosses that we did so far, except for the Marshmallow Man.
Look at the Marshmallow Man.
He's too big.
Man, there's some weird stuff about the Marshmallow Man too in this game. I'll get into that in a moment. We want this guy to jump, ideally twice. 1, 2, lovely. Oh, he's done a 3. He's done 3. That's not so good because now he's going away from the wall. We want him to be right next to the wall for maximum uptime on using the Phasar shell. It has an interesting property where you can only shoot it once, but things like walls and such will delete the projectile. So we want him to. He's really not playing ball with me today. Wow.
He's having a good game.
This is a 4 cycle for sure, but that's okay. It wouldn't be a marathon run without a little bit of jank, right? It's all good.
Okay, what?
Stop.
Double jump.
Thank you.
There we go, that's good.
Right, brilliant. So we're going to do an interesting mechanic here where we're actually going to just leave the boss here and just leg it. And because the ghosts, the little green ghost spawns so far off screen, it thinks the ghosts escaped. So we just carry on like nothing's happened. Oh no, we got away!
Oh man, how'd that happen?
That's such a strange thing. Oh my gosh.
I didn't even see him.
Oh god, I pressed the jump button, but nothing happened.
The classic.
The classic. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to the snowman. And as I said before, this weapon is really good against the snowman. But given how far and fast he moves, this can actually be a really awkward fight.
High risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward. We'll see how it goes.
So there we go.
I'm not nothing if not risky. Okay, good. 2 hits, 3 hits. That one tagged him. That's nice. Come on, move down, move down, move down.
Okay, so he's on second part of his health bar at least. So he's really spawning.
Yeah, he's not having
the snowmen are really going
after
after you, which is not ideal.
I don't want to use the duck. Not until Wallman.
Okay, he's nearly gone.
Nah, he's got me. I'm gonna no, we'll take care of it. It'll be fine.
So in the worst case scenario during this bottom half of the level, it does give you an opportunity to just go back to the shop. So it's not the end of the world.
I'm not going to I'm going to keep going with the actually. Yeah, I'm going to keep going with the duck. I'm going to do things a bit differently because that boss fight took a lot of our energy, but it should be fine in the end.
And we do get some back from capturing.
We do get some back from capturing. The next boss is a guaranteed +1 to our energy because it should only take 10 hits to kill him. Each energy notch, I guess, is 2 shots of the Phasar shell. So 10 hits is 5 notches, but we get 6 back for beating the boss. So technically it's a net gain. I'm also hoping that 2 Slimers we get in the stage, which are 50-50 chances of dropping energy or health, I'm hoping they'll both give us energy and we'll be fine, but we'll see how it goes. Right. So back to Audrey. Audrey 2, and it's pretty much the same boss fight as always. And to be honest, the Wallman's going to be honestly the same.
Bring back Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, bring back Marshmallow Man. Where's he gone? But if there's anything you want to say, any bits and bobs, now's a good time for a couple of donations or anything to plug.
Hi, yeah, sorry about that. We have actually had a donation, $18, from somebody who was just over my shoulder, I believe, from Clef Spear, saying, "Hello, Clef here. First time attending a speedrun event in person, and I've been really enjoying it. Thanks for the opportunity to attend and volunteer. Good luck to all the runners." Thank you for the donation.
Okay, cool. So that is the third last boss down. We've got one more to go, and then we're on the final boss, who is
Now
a
that is a saver. That is a run saver right there. Thank you, Slimer.
yeah. See, the Slimers, when you kill them, they are basically completely random on whether they're going to drop a blue drop or a red drop, which is health and energy. And in this level, it's always energy, which is the one that you really want to drop. You have one other opportunity when we're going back to the final boss, who basically we just went past, but as mentioned, the boss rooms are locked until you've beaten all the mini-bosses.
This is probably the one boss fight that has the biggest difference in it, for the smallest of reasons. The first time you fight this boss, it has a giant fire pit in the middle, and this time it doesn't. Now, that doesn't sound massively significant, except the fact that these slimes are no longer falling into the fire pit and disappearing. They're going across the whole arena, and as such, they cause a bit of congestion, especially when we're trying to hit the boss. It can be quite a pain. Yeah, I really don't want to use my Peking Duck until after this boss is dead. Please don't hit me again. Because I want to be able to use this 6 health that we get for killing this boss.
Yeah,
He is not being kind to me. Oh
yeah, this is
my
cruel.
lord, come on, bro. This means what I said before about he just decides when he takes damage. I'm shooting him cleanly in the face, but he doesn't want it. I think that's it. Come on. There we go.
There
right.
we go. That was a bit scary, that one was.
Bit tense. But yeah, we're moving off screen, but the ghost is still going to spawn. He's not far enough off screen to dodge the ghost capturing. But even then, we still kind of would want it because we want the health and energy at this point. But it's just to get us in the right position to capture it easier and to get onto this. Right, this is going to be a bit tricky. I need to... Right, that's taken care of.
We're just basically just conserving our resources now until we get to the final boss, because the final boss is a very tanky boss. And also, surprise, surprise, along with most bosses in this game, very RNG. And they can also decide to go on holiday if they feel like it. Which
right,
is,
we have
pleasant.
the energy we want. We are going to be a bit tight on health, so this is going to be quite a tense fight, I would dare to say.
So this is Jana. She's never mentioned once in the entire game until you get her. The manual implies that she is another Mesopotamian god, like goes at the end of the film. But we're not actually sure whether the devs of this game actually watched the movie before making it, because they got other things wrong, like Winston being missing, the Marshmallow Man having... was it? I think Marshmallow Man is a kid who ate too many marshmallows.
Oh yeah, they decided to do a weird retcon on his character, because I'm assuming they never saw the movie. But yeah, he's a kid who ate too many marshmallows one day and then woke up and he was a Marshmallow Man.
Oh, I know that feeling. So this boss will fly around wherever they want and throw this sword at you. Like, we've already skipped the first phase where they sit in place. When they turn into the second phase, they will often just launch themselves off the screen, and sometimes they will just decide that, no, you know what, it's pretty nice being off screen, I'm just going to stay there for 30 seconds and not let you hit me. So while she's a bit high off the screen at the minute, it still means that we're actually getting hits on her, which is a lot better than how it can go sometimes.
Yeah, she's staying quite still. I like this.
That
was a really quick fight. Okay, so it's going to be about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, a bit more, bit more.
Bit more, bit more. Time. I'm surprised that fight went so well.
That was a really good final boss.
She takes the health bar off me, so I'm really glad that that went that well. Put the storms calm in the tablet. And then there's a throwaway line that the hole's closing again. But that's it. That's Ghostbusters for the Mega Drive. Thank you very much. So shout-outs, of course, to my bro next to me, Hakare Deity, to the HGNS crew, and also to everyone here at UKSG, the tech, the crew. Thanks for letting me come here and do this. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
Honestly, you eat a couple of marshmallows and people start calling you the Marshmallow Man. Brilliant run. Thank you so much, Destructiox. Everybody, if you want to check out more of their stuff, I'm sure you can find them in various places around the internet. But that was a brilliant run. We are going to be having an intermission, and then we're going to be throwing it over to Tails Adventure with Mindezi, which is, I know of the run is going to be good. So, yeah, definitely stick around. See you in a second.